What this does is in our county, we are county with excessive growth.
DeSoto County.
DeSoto County. We've had quite a bit of growth, and we have areas where municipalities in the county are not always in agreement on annexation issues and that kind of thing. And so I've spent a good bit of time trying to come up with a decision that would be good for the cities and good for the counties on how to address that. And so basically what the bill does here is it allows the people in an area to be annexed to get a vote on that annexation if they are not being provided certain core services yet by the municipality. And so within the bill, I believe it's on line 47, we define critical services as being fire, police protection, water, gas, sewer, garbage collection, emergency ambulance service. Because it's my opinion that if the majority of those services are being provided by the municipality or the city, I think you're part of the city and you should be annexed. If none or if very few of those services are being provided at that time in a high growth area, I think the city should make an effort to bring those items online before they proceed or kind of move forward with annexation. So what this would do is in that situation where there is an annexation being requested by the city, it would give the Board of Supervisors the ability to either approve such annexation or to allow the people in that annexation to have a vote on whether or not they would like to be annexed at that time. It would be by referendum for that vote with a very clear marking on this. And it has become in our area something that is, people are very passionate about this issue. And I think the municipalities have the ability to make an area part of the city by finding a way to provide those services. And if they're not providing those services, I still think that that area would probably, in my opinion, be considered part of the county structure. So that's a brief explanation of the bill. Be glad to answer any questions.
Senator Jordan, you're recognized for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted, does this referendum require 60%?
So I should know that answer, but I'm running from this other. I was thinking it was a majority vote.
Simple.
Yes, it's a majority. And again,
6%?
and I don't know if I made this clear, but this would only apply to a county with a population of greater than 175,000.
I was going to point that out on line 33 for the committee.
So those three counties, as I understand it, would be DeSoto, Hines, and Harrison would be the only three. And those are the highest kind of growth ones at this stage. You know, this may be something that other counties might want to consider in the future, but I do think those that have these higher growth kind of situations are the ones that are seeing this concern to the greatest degree at this point.
Municipal Association, have they got an opinion on this bill?
I'm sure they will be forming one very soon.
So
I haven't spoken to them personally about it.
I've had several mayors reach out to me about this particular bill, and this bill really only is going to deal with 3 counties in the state. And really, in my opinion, it should have been a local and private, but there's some general law in here that has to be addressed, and that's why it came to municipalities. But it will only affect 3 counties in the state. Right now, that's correct. Any additional questions? Senator Jordan?
What I'm trying to find out, will it require a referendum or percentage? What is the percentage? Is it 60%?
So it would be a majority. That's what we checked
Just a
with
simple
council.
majority?
Simple majority, but
In a general election, not a
General,
special election.
right.
All right.
The majority would be of the people in that annexed area, in that proposed annex area.
Well, you've answered my question. Just a
Yes, sir.
simple majority.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In a general election, not a special referendum. It'll be on a November ballot, Senator Jordan. Senator Hickman had a question. Chair recognizes Senator Hickman.
Just one question, like your local like municipalities, who's bringing this? Who's supporting this?
This is brought by Senator McClendon, myself, and Senator Blackwell on behalf of the people in those annexed areas. We have each been approached, numerous times about this concern. As the three senators who represent, the vast majority of our county now, it's something that we feel needs at least some attention and some direction for the people, because the concern is that, we may lose people out of the county because they're not sure if, what the procedure might be, to purchase land in the county and then, have a large annexation occur. It's really a unique situation when you have a county that has approaching 200,000 people there, and you have 4 of the top 12 largest cities, I think, in the state of Mississippi now located within that county. The boundaries become very hard to define, and I'm hoping that this will provide some clarity in, how those are defined, and, and if an area, the city wants to, kind of take on that responsibility and provide more services, I think they should provide that before they offer to pull another area into the city limits. I hope that answers to some degree.
Just one final question, I think, and it's gonna be for you or Mr. Chairman. I think the chairman said that the reason why, or that it has some general law that need to be corrected. Could this not have been a local and private if we just correct whatever general law needs? Why wasn't this a local and private?
I'm gonna recognize council.
The Constitution prohibits suspending the operation of a general law by local or private. So if there's a general statute that addresses this procedure, which is what's before you, we have to do it by general law. That's the rules we always follow.
Are there any additional questions? Senator McClendon, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not so much a question. Our county has probably at this time 50,000 people that live out in the county. Maybe a little less after the last Olive Branch annexation. And now Olive Branch, their last annexation, they were trying to get 51 square miles, which was the largest annexation that was proposed in Mississippi. DeSoto County is a small county landmass. It is almost half of what Madison County or Holmes County is in landmass. There are over 100 on the books platted subdivisions in DeSoto County. A lot of those are minimum 50 houses, 100, 250, some 4 and 5. And these are not just in the city, these are in the county. So people are moving to the county with services. They have water, they have gas, and a lot of these people lived in South Haven, Olive Branch, Horn Lake, Hernando, Walls, and they moved from those cities to be out in the county so they can ride their 4-wheelers, they can shoot their guns if they want to, they can have cattle, horses. And that's one of the big reasons. Also, they get upset that they can be annexed, but yet a rural water association, they cannot be. And that rural water association can have 70 to 80% of its customers are in a municipality, but yet they still get to run and function as a rural water, but that city does not get to take them over. And that's an issue, that because the cities aren't getting that revenue off that water, we allow the rural water associations to still compete against them. But all that being said, there's a huge voting block up there, and they just want to be left alone. They want to be in the county. And this is an alderman for a city for 8 years saying that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll say to the voting block issue, very, very, very small part of that block is within any area that I represent. I just see it as an issue that affects the entire county, and so I think it's good policy, to set that. And what I wonder and what I get concerned about when you have all these city boundaries up against each other is sometimes they get into a competition against each other on who's going to annex this next area, and I think if you say, well, if your goal is to annex that area, build a fire station, provide the water, provide the fire, provide the ambulances, do those things. And then you don't have to worry about this anymore, but if you're not doing those things, and it's just, a attempt to move forward without providing those critical services, I think that's done prematurely and can be to detriment to the people in the county.
Yeah, Senator Kirby, you're recognized.
Let me say, I have every intention of voting for this, but let me tell you the other side of what mayors told me when I introduced almost the same bill several years ago. And what they told me was, well, if we have to provide that first, then we're probably not going to annex it. And the reason being is we need the tax money for a few years to provide those services, because we don't have the kind of money in small cities to go and put the water and the sewer and all those things in. We have to have the income first. So it's a chicken and egg deal here. So I just thought I'd tell you I can assure you there's some cities or counties especially, and I think it has to be approved by the board of supervisors, not going to want to provide the services before they get the money.
And, again, ours being, to Senator McClendon's point, such a small area, I think the counties are going to be very happy to provide those services and continue to provide them, in our situation. And again, that's why I think applying this to the entire state would not be appropriate, and that's why we limited it to a smaller area, a smaller group of counties by that. And, it sounds like it wouldn't be good for your county. So,
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that some of my mayors were against it before. Yeah, they just, well, and one even suggested, well, if you're going to let them vote on it, let's let the people in the city vote on it too. See if they want them. Just thought I'd tell you, there is another side to the story. So, but I'm going to vote for the bill. So.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any additional discussion? Are you prepared to vote? All in favor of, well, first we would need to adopt the committee substitute. Is there a motion? Heard the motion. All in favor of the committee substitute? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So we're on the committee sub. Any additional questions or comments? And if not, are you prepared to vote? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed with nay. It is for double, it will go to county affairs next. It will. So I believe the ayes have it. The ayes have it. That bill will be, the committee sub will be reported to county affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.